Uh, you want to know? Oh, I'm sorry. It's unapologetically T. And I realized my shirt was on backwards, and I'm not gonna switch it around. Maybe I should. I'm gonna pause the camera and switch my shirt around. And I did go places today. Isn't that funny? I know if someone paid attention, they had a hoot. But all right. All right, so that's better. Not that much of a difference, so maybe they didn't notice, but I just noticed it, and that's why I'm gonna tell you that, like, mentally, like, I be going through it, but I'm getting through it. So, yeah, like, grief. All right, grief is hard. And if you know, you know. I feel like my situation has been different and special because I've lost a lot of people throughout life, and then when the world started to fucking freak the fuck out, and there was a virus on the rise, like the same way y'all world was crumbling a fear from that virus, like my world was starting to self-destruct, but on a spiritual level. And I started to experience a lot of loss back to back. Like I said, I've lost people from death, and I've also lost people who are still living, and both are hard. I do feel like when you lose someone who is still living, there is hope and chance for things to maybe get better, work out, or at least that the other person that you care about is still okay. When they die, you really don't know what happens. For me, I can feel it. I can feel like peace or something. Yeah, I can feel it. That's another thing that came up. I feel like I am a gifted person, and spiritually, and I have denied myself like over so many years because I just thought like I would be considered weird or crazy, and I'm accepting that, like, I'm highly sensitive. I know things that I can just meet a person and know things, and I don't have to talk to you all the time to understand what's going on. Sometimes words are better left unsaid. It's kind of like that situation. Like, if what's understood does not have to be said. Like, it's just certain things. Like, I pick up on vibes and energy, and I'm starting to develop other gifts, and I'm starting to try to work on them. And that was another thing that came up last night. So, like, in my grief, when I say this was a roller coaster ride, I mean it was a roller coaster ride. But in my grief wave, I've always since Dante died, before he died, I wanted to start a business as a spiritual advisor. So, like how I was a transfer coach at the college, I want to kind of implement what I was doing for them, but on a spiritual level. Like, half the time they came in there, like, once you've done college long enough, you start to learn your own way. Most of my students who came in, whether they were new or old, they came in to talk. Like, I was the person that they came in to talk to, because they knew I was gonna listen. I was gonna listen. Sometimes, like I said, some people ain't even had to say nothing. Some of them, if they were new, like, they ain't even had to say nothing. Like, I just say something to them. I've had people in there crying. I didn't cry with students, and you ain't even supposed to do that. But I didn't cry with the students on some of the occasions. And I'm human, and some of us are going through some things that don't nobody know we going through. And we walking around here, and we still trying to make it. And so, having that job, I realized that, like, that was something that came natural to me. Like, I am naturally a person that people like to talk to. I'm naturally a person, if you talk to me, you can trust that, your information is going to stick with me. And I feel like I had a lot of meaningful passings passing by with students and also return students. I had a lot of meaningful relationships with them, which showed me, like, I think I have multiple jobs and missions in this life that God has given me, and I've been, meeting my marks. And I think it's now time for me to, do things that basically makes me happy now. I've given a lot and not realized what I've given to other people, and I've taken little in return. So now it's kind of like I want to do what I'm naturally good at, but get paid for it, and what I deserve anyway. And that was something that came up to me, like, you have a gift. Most of the time people just want somebody to listen to them, and I don't want to be a therapist. I'm not here to give you therapy for mental health. Like I said, I want to be a spiritual advisor. That's my fancy word for it. I did not make it up, but that's what I like to call it. But if you're on, from a scientific point or like an earth point, I guess you would say, like, it's called a life coach. So, like, I do not want to give you, per se, advice on how to deal with your mental health. Go seek a therapist. Although I feel like I've had enough life experience, I do not have any license, degrees or anything to back up any of that. So I will not be doing that. However, if you want to vent, you can do the same thing with me and vent. And I can guide you on what you explain to me, what you talk to me about, or what I pick up from you, as far as your energies. However, I'm not giving out clinical advice. I just want to make that clear. So yeah, and I would be offering multiple services within that. Like, I do want to get Reiki training. I do want to, there's a class, online class for to become, to get certified, and is it medicinal medicine? I think it's I'm drawing a blank, but basically like a herbalist. So you can get certified in that. I also have taken classes in the past with the Botanica that's local to my area, and I plan on finishing doing some more classes, like candle work. There's a lot of different ones, but yeah. So I definitely want to, explore what makes me happy and just be a person to navigate you through finding self, healing self, like I said, I will not be giving clinical advice, but I can give you like life experience advice. So I just want to let y'all know I pulled the trigger on that. So, I'm waiting. When I tell y'all, like, me and Dante could have had so much in life. We could have had so much in life, but he would not take my lead. But I definitely have ideas for days, and I do have another business that I said, like, I'm working on that. That one is going to take me a lot more resources, and I think I'm going to need a team with that one. And that's not something that I naturally, it's not a natural passion, but it is a passion. It's a passion indeed, but it's going to take a lot more work, and that idea is definitely, like... it's a multi-million-dollar idea. And if you know, because I've talked to you, I didn't tell many people, but and I really am gonna remain a little tight-lipped about it, but at the same token, I'm learning that at this point in life, that was another thing that came up to me. It was like, you've been so sealed-lipped all your damn life, like, it don't even matter what you tell people now. What's meant for you is meant for you. And people can piggyback off of what you're doing or like what you're doing and try to do it too, and that's great for them. And However, we're all individuals, and our ideas that we manifest are not going to look the same, even if we're doing the same trade field. So I do not mind sharing what I'm doing, because you're not me and I'm not you, and you might be great at it and your clientele loves you, and I'm gonna be great at what I'm doing and my clientele is gonna love me. However, with that business, I am being told to wait until I have the resources and the team to unveil that. So I am waiting on that, but I did want to let you know, like, when Charlotte grandfather sent that money, I pulled the trigger on starting a business as a spiritual advisor. Yeah, so a lot of things came up for me last night. That was a good one. Still intense because, like, it's that confidence piece that I'm still gaining confidence throughout this thing. Like, if you think these videos is easy for me, like, I had to tell one of my students hit me up the other day, and they were mocking me. It was cute and mocking me, like, but I told her, I was like, you know, some of these videos I listen to, and some of these videos, when I know it's raw emotion in here, and, like, I'm not watching that shit. You watch it. I do not want to watch myself. I mean, even when I was at work, I did not like listening to our recordings. It was like, no, cringe, bro, cringe. So, like, I'm learning this confidence, you know, with y'all, and I think you can see probably a progression in the videos of the confidence going up higher and higher. So to be, you know, putting out there my stuff to the world, like, it is extremely new and different for me. I'm typically the person who Dante, he used to pick on me, bruh. Like, when I used to walk around campus and he'll come get me, like, he used to be like, you walking around like you don't want nobody to see you. And yes, sir, yes, you're right. I don't want to talk. I don't want you to see me. I don't want you to say hi. Like, I'm invisible. And I used to walk around like that. Like, and it's like, now I ain't walking around like that. I ain't making myself small. I am entering the room me, unapologetically me. Like, I'm gonna be me. Either you like me or you love me, or something wrong with you. Like, I don't know, like, because it ain't me. It's like, I'm sweet as pie, and I realize that, like, yes, I can be mean, but what caused me to be mean? So I am sweet as pie, and a lot of things came up for me last night. Like, it was this wave of, like, loss and turmoil and tragedy, and then it was like, but this is what you're getting. This is, you see who you becoming, and it's almost like you still, even though you see this who you're becoming, it's like you still looking a little backwards, and you're like, but that person was supposed to be here with me, and this person was supposed to be here with me, and, like, oh my gosh, like, it's just, I cried all night. I did not go to sleep till about 7 o'clock this morning. I cried. I wish I had somebody to cry with me. Not cry with me, but at least hold me while I cry. Like, cause doing this shit by yourself is it's hard. And then it happens to me during hours where there's no one, you know, there. So, and I think it has to, because I deny myself during the day, or not deny myself, I'm distracted during the day. I have things that I'm doing during the day. So, like, at night, that shit pops up like, hey bitch, you gonna deal with us? You gonna deal with this? You gonna deal with it? Are you gonna deal with it? Like, you didn't cry long enough in the car when I sent you a message to release some shit. Like, you didn't do it long enough. So, like, you know, this is your time now. Like, so I will say, like, if you are dealing with grief, don't hold back. It will come find you in your sleep, because I was jolted out of my sleep. And boy, was I not able to go back to sleep. Was I not able to run. But the end result is beautiful. It's just, you know, I guess wondering, God is replacing some, and you can't replace people, but God is filling my life up with other people, you know, that I can utilize. So, like, there is this loss. It's gonna always be this loss, because you can't replace people. You can't replace individuals. You can't replace personalities. Like, you can't do it. But God is reminding me, like, you're not alone. You're not alone. And I feel like, I miss love a lot and intimacy, and I've been clear about that. Like, I miss that so much, and it doesn't mean that, like, I'm out here searching for it, like, but at the same token, I miss it. And I feel like last night I came to a realization, like, yeah, mentally you had left that relationship in 2021, 2020. Mentally you had checked out. Physically you didn't leave until 2022, but mentally you still, once you left physically, you was mentally shown that y'all was tied to each other. Like, it didn't matter how the fuck, like, we would be apart. Like, I knew when something was wrong with him, he knew when something was wrong with me, and we would reach out to each other. And even though we did not need to be around each other, like, we just knew each other. We had been together for so long. And that's why I said his grief has been so fucking confusing, because that was one thing I was talking about with my brother in the other video. Like, when my brother died, like, he, signed me up to do a massage, which I'm going to say this, like, I had never done a full body massage before because I have issues with touching. So I do not like random people touching me. And I have to get used to, like, men touching me. He had bought this little package for me to get a massage, and it was my first time getting a massage ever. And I was getting to that point in life where I was like, I wish I could do more things, and a massage was on my list to get a full body massage, because everybody was ranting and raving about how good it felt. And boy, is it like a drug. Like, when I get my money up, like, I'm gonna do a whole spa, like a whole spa day, because that right there, that's like a drug. Like we out here doing drugs and alcohol and shit like that. It is things in this life that feels so good for your spirit and your soul that does the same thing that drugs do, and you don't need it as often. You can just get a little tune up. Reiki healing is another one. Like, that one, if you do struggle with, like, touching, like, you could do Reiki healing. That's just the person, hands, but they're not touching. You do have healers that touch, which, to each his own. And I would like to learn both, but I felt like that massage was everything. I'll never forget that massage. But then, it was still this person who, he got me the massage before my brother's funeral, so I was able to get my shit together. And then, but then we also got the person who, not long after my brother died, like, he was in the car getting high, and shit went left, and I had to come pick the pieces up and jeopardize my life and my career, and help save somebody else's life. And those moments where he's good, they stand out the most now because he's gone. And those moments when he was not good, they still come up. And it's like, I can't run from them and deny that they didn't happen, because that's what I did in life. Like, I never wanted to paint him out to be the bad guy, because I knew that a lot of the behaviors and the decisions he made, like, he really, really, he knew better. He knew they were wrong, but, like, he really didn't know the full extent of the consequences. Because, like, it's the saying, if you knew better, you'd do better. And some people do know better. It's called, you're aware. You're aware, but you haven't put the action in yet to make changes and do better. So he had awareness. He had awareness that things was not right. However, he did not have the strength to act and do better. So, if it was between you and him, he was going to choose him. And he was self-centered that way and selfish. I wouldn't even just say selfish. He was self-centered. When I think about, like, the different developments, child developments, like, a lot of us are walking around with an egocentric point of view. Like, life is about us. And everybody else is just, actors and characters in our story. And yes, that's fine. However, when it becomes too center focused, it's like, it's bad. When you can't see outside of yourself. And that's what he was struggling with. Like, his development was arrested for sure. And I feel like My development was arrested, but it was different from his. It was like it was different from his. I had the ability to learn, like, oh, if I did something wrong, like, oh, that wasn't right, and let me try to work on this. I think that's what it was. I had a conscience, like, and mine was, oh, I think that's what it was. Like, he didn't have enough of a conscience, and I had too much of a conscience. And it was like, definitely in our relationship, we was supposed to learn how to balance that shit out, because we was always faced with challenges, like trying to balance out me being overly giving and him, not giving enough, and me being overly caring and him not caring enough. And it just be hard, bro. Like, it's hard, because I love him. I always will love him. Shit. I mean, it was 11 years of my life. I gave my 20s to him. Like, I gave my 20s to him and the early part of my 30s. I do be wanting my years back. That came up in the grief. Like, shit, can I get my years back? Like, I literally lost 11 years of my youth. Like, I feel like the dumb mistakes, and I mean, he was a dumb mistake, but I'm not gonna say that. He was a purpose, a learning lesson. He was fun, but, and I can't call him a mistake, because I knew when I met him. I knew when I met him, that nigga was trouble. He was a good trouble. It reminded me of True Blood, when Lafayette said eggs was the devil in a Sunday hat. So it was like that. It was like, I knew he was bad, but I knew he had good parts too. So it was definitely like that. I ain't going for that this time. I ain't going for that this go round. The same way I'm going through all this hurt healing, the next nigga gonna have to have done this work too for himself. And we can compliment each other and help each other get through things, but like, we are not to be trying to make each other happy. We have to bring our own happiness into the picture. And yes, the other person can make us happy and contribute to happiness, but they can't make us happy. Make each other happy. If you get what I'm saying. Like, one has to be happy with themselves before you can expect another person to make you happy. So yeah, next nigga, I can't do it. I will say, like, God know my heart. He know I need a recidivized hood nigga, like somebody who has been through some things and who has came from nothing and who understands pain and who understands, life. And I definitely gonna need that. Like, I'm gonna need somebody who understands me, but it's at the same time gentle. And I think that's a misconception that, like, black hood men get, is that y'all not gentle or y'all don't have feelings. I've met plenty of y'all that have feelings. I just think it's with certain people you are vulnerable with and certain people you're not. And I find typically when y'all find that person that allows you to be vulnerable, y'all will love them and protect them. And I think in my situation, mine was, I always told him this, so I don't care about this part, because I always used to tell him this. Like, I literally used to think, like, he was a psychopath. Like, I used to think, like, he was incapable of feeling. Like, the only feelings that he had, like, I was able to bring out of him. It was weird, like, because I would talk to other people, and they'll be like, no, that's not, like, how he is. And I'm like, this nigga is, like, a baby with me. And, like, but then when I see him get around other people, it's like, it's the strength and it's, this respected person. And but with me, he was different. But then I started to feel like, was it an act? Like, did you just, try to be vulnerable to get your way. So I used to thought he was a psychopath because I thought like he used to read social cues and he knew like if he was sad or vulnerable, like, you know, he could get his way, or, you know, things would go better for him. However, I do feel like, you know, since he's passed away, multiple people have, you know, I've talked to that knew him, and after we had broke up, like, they constantly tell me, like, how much he loved me. Like, I've heard this, like, fucking 3 times, like, from 3 different people. Like, oh my God, when you left, like, all bro did was talk about you. All he could do was talk about you. Man, it messed me up one time. He broke down and cried. Like, I done heard this from 3 different people. And, so, I do think, like, he had feelings, but they were rare. And a lot of times he had feelings for people who were vulnerable. I will say this, like, he fucked with people that was respectful, or, you know, had if he could tell you had like a purpose, or you weren't aware of your potential, like, he definitely was careful with you. Animals, you could definitely see genuine feelings coming from him. So he wasn't as psychopathic as I thought. Cause animals, like, I remember one time it was a dog in the street. Dog had got hit by a car. Like, he pulled the car over, got out the car. Dog was bloody. Got the dog up, and I think he ended up getting the dog help or something like that. I can't remember the like steps, but he just made sure the dog had got help and was safe. And I remember, like, my first cat he gave me. He gave me a little rescue little hood cat. We named the little cat Little Boosty Badass. That was my name for him. And he was a boy, and he was bad. But yeah, he like got a cat. I think he was like rescued the cat from like Wooken Court or something. Like, he brought it home. And it's funny because I love stray animals. That's what I did in my time as a child, was take care of stray animals. Like, literally was a cat woman before I was old enough to be a cat woman. And yeah, I love animals, so we definitely related on that. Kids, both of us, we loved kids. I feel like if you don't like kids, I don't know, that's just maybe something wrong with you, but I'm not gonna judge you because some people just don't like them. But I just love kids. Like, I feel like kids are our future, and I feel like I was not treated with care and delicacy. So like, when I get around kids, like, I love letting kids be who the fuck they is. If they quote unquote bad, be your badass self. But like, we're gonna have some ground rules and some respect. But I want you to show me who you are, and then we can work from there. And I love kids. Kids are like pure joy, and they just show you what life should be like, how free life should be. Like, if you spend time with kids and actually listen to them talk, they are little adults. Like, we literally are molding children, whether it's for the good or the bad. We're molding them to be other than themselves once they get into this world. Because once they get into this world, they are who they are. And a lot of them know so much. And some people think it's just his exposure. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes things are innately into people. So I just find it amazing to see the different little personalities, because they're little humans. And I've just always had that. He had that too. So we always had kids around. And definitely by like Charlotte being the only child, if Anaya wasn't, with us, like, Charlotte was the only child, so we would definitely like pick up our friends or have other kids around. I haven't had that. I've been really on the more isolated side, and then Charlotte's a teenager now, so I'm not getting like that little kid energy, laughter, play, bluntness, because kids will tell you about yourself. And I'm not getting that anymore. Like, most of the kids that I definitely have dealt with throughout, my growing up, they're grown or about to be grown. So that's why it's important for me to reconnect with my nephews, and I have 2 more that I need to reconnect with too. So I'm definitely, this grief be reminding me of stuff that I need to do. Excuse me, stuff I need to feel, stuff I need to let go of. Grief is a wave. Some days are good, and then boom, you fucking can't even get up. All you do is cry. Like, I cried last night till I couldn't breathe. Like, I was like, okay, bro, you gonna have to start crying because you gotta breathe through your mouth now. Your nose stopped up because all this goddamn tree sperm out here killing me, and the crying made it worse. So yeah, I just wanted to let y'all know, like, I'm okay. I'm just a human going through it. I've been through a lot, and it resurfaced, and it gets easier each time. It was hard, but it gets easier each time. I've been through worse, and I think that's what's helping me, is because I've been through worse pain. However, just because I've been through worse pain, this pain fucking hurts. But I'm getting through it. I'm getting there. I hope y'all enjoyed the solar eclipse. I definitely went outside, did some manifestations, prayed to God, told him what I was grateful for, asked him what I needed, coming in. And, hope y'all enjoyed it. I told y'all I was going to be fucking anticlimactic. But, if you follow my social media, I showed you the solar eclipse in 2017 and told y'all about it. Spiritually, I do think, like, it does bring in alignment and other spiritual things, but all the fear mongering, I felt like that was just weird. But whatever. I don't fear nature half as much as I fear man, and I don't fear men. So let nature do what it do, and ride the waves with nature, because nature is tired. Nature just as tired as I am. Oh yeah, this earth, she's sick of us. But alright, I was happy to see, the masculine and feminine energy line up today, because that's all that is. And I feel like it has brought me balance for right now, so I'm gonna hold on to that. And I love y'all. I thank y'all for the support. Keep going. Life is happening to us all. We got this. All right.